I am John Giesick. I'm the host of the C-Suite Sherpa podcast. This is where we take business leaders and resources and interview them and help you to get to know them. Today, we have a very special guest. We're going to introduce Rutherford Pascal, who's the founder and CEO of Glass Walls Leadership. They do keynote speaker training, but Rutherford is going to give us more details and let us know about what his business is, who his clients are, and the results he gets for them. So go ahead, Rutherford, take it away.
Okay. So my business is Glass Walls Leadership. We help people believe in their beliefs and doubt their doubts. Too many times people believe their doubts and doubt their beliefs. What we want to have people do is have an irrational belief in themselves, their products, their people. If we do that, we know we will have great success, the business will have great success, and they will have great success.
That's great. I love that quote, Rutherford. Tell us a little bit about who specifically your clients are and what problem are they bringing to you that you're helping them solve?
So our clients want to grow in their leadership. They're either a first-line leader, a second-line leader, or a sole contributor that wants to be a first-line leader. We help them grow. We help them become great leaders. They're probably really good leaders, but they know they can be great. And we help them be great. We help them make a difference. We help them grow a great culture. We help them retain employees, which is a big problem. We help them lead in good times and in bad. And with the climate right now, it's divisive. How do you lead through that? We help them with things like that.
Yeah, I could really see a need for that now, especially you brought up the climate. So tell me real quick, when you started your business, what was your goal on how to differentiate yourself from everybody else out there that does what you do?
So it, the goal is to just, I've had 30 years of leadership, right? And I've seen everything. I've been through great growth. I've been through when we sunsetted a product. We've had to downsize. I've had to call people and tell them they were no longer with the organization. So I could empathize with every situation and talk to people about how to lead, how to grow, how to get promoted, how to really prepare differently for promotions, how to prepare yourself, how to prepare the people you work with, how to be intentional about your actions that show how to grow your business, things you do every day. There's got to be some intentionality in order for you to grow and be the leader you want to be. And the last thing is, how do you differentiate yourself? What do people say about you? When John walks in the room, is there a big smile? Do they know what John's going to bring when you walk into the room, when you talk to your team? Do they completely understand who you are and what you're going to bring? That's differentiation. Those three things: preparation, intentionality, differentiation.
Oh, that's great. So when people come to you, through all your clients, when people come to you, what's the number one thing? What's their number one block? The number one thing that gets in their way?
The number one thing is they don't 100% believe in what they're doing or how they're doing it or the tools that they're using. If you look at that, there's all these different sales tools. There's CRM, there's sales funnels, there's all these different things. When I was a first line leader, I would typically spend an hour and a half to 3 hours business planning with my people. You're like, you're going to spend 3 hours with me? Maybe because I want to know what they were doing. Did they have conviction? Like, if I told you that if you don't get this, if you do this tactic or strategy that you're using, that if it doesn't work, we are going to terminate you, would you still do it? If they said yes, that's conviction. That's somebody with belief. So most of the times when I would talk to people, really like 80% of the time, they were just doing it as a matter of daily practice. There wasn't the passion or belief that they needed to be. One of our reps, she told me what she was going to do, and I had no clue. I didn't understand, but she had so much passion and belief It worked. She was the number one rep in our company in the first 2 months of launch and the whole year because of the belief she had in what she was doing and how she was doing it. I had zero belief. But it wasn't me doing it. It was her being with her customers. And when I asked her customers, I said, "So what do you think about this?" And they go, "We love it." And I said, "Really? Okay." I said, "Do you understand it?" They go like, "No, they don't." What they understand and what they believe is her. They're buying her passion, her belief, and it's authentic. They know that she wasn't doing it for herself. She was doing it for them and their customers.
Yeah, I could totally see that. People are going to follow leaders they believe in. The methods are secondary versus the big picture, and I have confidence in that leadership. Go ahead and talk a little bit about the leadership part of what you offer.
Leadership is the most important thing in growing a business. There's nothing more important than leadership. And leadership is influence. When I say leadership, it's not like somebody, "Hey, John, do this." That's not leadership. That that is leadership for 2 seconds, but it doesn't last and it doesn't endure. Leadership is about having a vision, having people follow you on that vision, and having that vision be clear. Because if you have a vision and people aren't with you, you're walking by yourself. So you need to express a vision that people buy into, they believe, and then they'll say, "Well, you know what? The vision is when something happens where there's conflict or situations where people don't agree. If there's a goal, we can always go back to the goal. If there's a vision, does this meet the vision? If it doesn't, it's easy to say, okay, we're going to do this because this one does meet the vision. That's why it's such an important thing. It takes care of everything because it's that North Star, so to speak. And that's leadership. If you look at every company that failed, if you look at every business, John, you and I are talking about sports teams that fail, and it's always leadership. Don't try to figure everything out, just leadership.
And you brought up the sports team, and we talked a little bit about the Chicago Bears. So I appreciate you getting off that subject.
I apologize.
No,
That
it's
hit,
okay.
that
Let me,
hit, that hit home a little too
it
close.
did. It did. So tell me, Rutherford, as you look at your business in the next 5 years, what do you think one of your biggest obstacles as an organization in your field? What is that one thing that you're going to have to overcome as you move forward for the next 5 years?
So it's always inertia, right? Great leaders want to be coached.
Hmm.
Good leaders don't think they need coaching. If you're good, you're like, "Yeah, I'm really good." There's this cognitive dissonance that they think they're better than they are. They don't understand that they have so much more to go. Their leadership is suppressing the growth of their team and organization. If they grew in their leadership, the organization would grow, that their team would grow. So the biggest challenge always is having the leader realize, "I need help." Every single leader needs a leadership coach, period.
Yeah, that makes total sense. And the guys that don't admit that are the guys that don't make it. I
Yeah.
agree 100%. All right, Rutherford, we're going to loosen up the tie a little bit. I'm going to give you some speed round questions just so that the viewers could get to know you a little bit more personally. I know you said you're in the Arizona area, but I'm going to go through a couple. So just rattle off. We'll just do a quick speed round. Coffee or tea?
Both,
Both. All day?
all day.
All right. How about cats or dogs?
Dogs,
Dogs, no question.
yes.
All right, here we go. So during the zombie apocalypse,
Okay.
what's the one thing that you grab or that you have, or what would it be that you have to take with you?
NFL Red Zone.
Perfect.
Yes.
If you're going to get stuck,
Listen, I gotta have some NFL Red Zone with me to my enjoyment.
that's it.
Do not tell my wife I just said that.
How about a favorite quote that you often think about or that has impacted your life?
The quote that I use is, "You reap what you sow." It's a very simple belief, but I think every day you plant great seeds and things fertilize, they germinate. You just don't know when. But if you continue to plant great seeds, great things will happen.
Awesome. How about a favorite movie?
Shawshank Redemption and Usual Suspects.
Top two. I've heard those before during some of the interviews. How about a book? Favorite
Uh,
book?
Favorite book. Ooh, there's a book by Cal Newport called Deep Work. It talks about spending hours of dedicated time working, 2 hours, you know, 2, 3 hours, boom, and completely no noise, no phones, no that's so it's you're really in deep work. If you think about people who've gotten a lot done, that they do that practice. They don't probably call it deep work, but they do it.
Oh, yeah. Undistracted productivity
Yeah.
is something I'm working on as well. Tell me something that's on the bucket list that you've already accomplished, something really cool that you were hoping to do that you got to check off the list.
So I went to South Africa last year with my wife, and that was a bucket list trip. I hope to do many more of those types of trips in the future. That was just one last year, and I'd like to do two or three a year moving forward because that was, it was so good for everybody. It's so you don't think about everything else. You realize the luck, the gift you've been afforded. So yeah, I love that.
Tell me about the place you'd like to go to next, the next item on your bucket list.
I'll tell you, I want to go to Ghana. My wife wants to go to Mexico City. One of those two would probably be the next thing on our bucket list. One of those areas, countries, and spend some time there.
What was the biggest obstacle that you had to overcome personally to get the success that you have right now?
The biggest challenge is sometimes you don't realize what you can do. When I was a first line leader, interviewing candidates, people would always ask me, "What, what's your leadership style?" So I don't know. I know I lead people. And I was asked so many times that I went and asked the 10 people I was leading. They told me things they didn't realize. I didn't realize the impact I was having and how I was having it. That was huge because once I realized my strengths, other like the team saw, then I was able to utilize those same strengths moving forward to grow my career. So it was, there's a famous quote that says, "We have found the enemy and it is us." And that's what it was. It's always us, right? I was the challenge because I didn't see what I was doing or how I was doing it to make people better. Once I found that out, it became easier to utilize those same things and be intentional about how I was doing it, what I was doing to help people grow even faster. The biggest challenge is me, right?
Yeah, I'll hop on that train. Getting out of my own way has been a lifelong struggle. My journey continues.
Absolutely. I trust me. The hardest person to lead is yourself. You don't realize how great you are. That's one of the biggest things. We are so great. There's something about us that's great. We don't always recognize what that is. Even if somebody tells you, you don't lean into it and make it even greater. When you do, you're like, oh my God, I should have been doing this. I didn't realize the impact. I want people to recognize they have greatness within them. It's not a saying, it's a fact.
Hey, I appreciate you sharing that, Rutherford. I appreciate you participating in our little lightning round here, loosening up the tie a little bit. If our viewers want to get a hold of you, what's the best way for them to reach out to you? Is it LinkedIn profile, your website, your email? So give us some direction.
So the website is glasswallsleadership.com, right? So if you think about glass ceilings is what people put on themselves, was what somebody else puts on you. Glass walls is what you put on yourself. You put around yourself, and we help you break through those. Glasswallsleadership.com is probably the best way. You can contact me, book an appointment. If you want to have me talk, coach, or lead different things, that's where you can find me and book an appointment there. I'm also on LinkedIn, like you mentioned, if you want to see videos and things that I post every week.
That sounds great, Rutherford. I appreciate your time today. It was really great getting to know you, and we'll connect soon.
Got it. Good luck to your beers.
Thanks.